History made Saturday night at Viejas Arena, where the Aztecs won a triple overtime game for the first time in the program's history. Hello and welcome to Aztecs All In, and a very happy new year to you. I'm Louis Weiner along with Steve Perez. What say you, Mr. Perez?
Hello, Louis. Happy New Year to you and yours and all Aztecs out there who remain all in. Of course, lots going on related to the programs, joining up with new and old members of the Pac-12 later this year, so that's kind of exciting. And we look forward to bringing you the relevant happenings in future episodes. But first, lots of hoops action to cover, along with some other matters. Right, Louis?
Yes, sir. It was an instant classic, Steve. I mean, how often do you see one team lead the other by 21 points, 50-29 at halftime, just to see the other team flip it and win the second half by the exact same score? What a wild night it was. Steve?
Second Mountain West game of the season at home for the Aztecs. They are 8-4 overall coming into this, 2-0 in conference play. The wins described as underwhelming in the local newspaper by the UT beat writer Mark Ziegler, meaning not exactly helpful in the metrics. These two teams, though, Boise State, San Diego State, they have a history of being tough and physical against one another no matter where they match up. This meetup on the Aztecs home court, the only one in the regular season with this unbalanced schedule we've got going on this season. Bronx coming off their first conference win of the season with a defeat of New Mexico at home. They are 1-1 in the conference, 9-4 overall. Sounds like a good crowd in the house from the CBS Sports Network telecast. They love to cheer the home team and hassle the visitors at Viejas. You can hear the crowd giving them the business, but the network announcers trying to be heard over it all. The game opens up with teams trading baskets until about midway through the first half when the Aztecs defense starts looking better. Boise State unable to stop the Aztecs on their end, and they open up an 8-point lead at the 9-minute mark. As a whole, the team seems more energized with the calendar flip and the meat of the conference season in front of them. 2 games a week for the most part until the conference tournament in March. Aztecs getting one bye next month. But looks like they're primed to make a statement to the rest of the conference here. Still going with that deep bench. This game, though, without Tay Simmons with what is described as a minor injury. It still leaves 10 very talented players who will get playing time. And they start locking down on defense in every possession. And look at that offense go. Guath knocking down threes off the bench, scoring inside. 9 of the first half for the big guy. Jeremiah Oden, the big transfer off the bench with a first-half highlight, blocking on the defensive end, then running the floor, getting a feed from Reese Dixon-Waters to slam home a dunk. It's a 10-point lead for the Aztecs, 29-16, 7:25 left in the half. And got a few more first-half notes, but then need to fast-forward with how this game plays out. Overall, tight defense forcing the Bronx into shots late in the clock. Aztecs forced 9 turnovers in the half. They get 14 points off of those turnovers. Calls going against the Broncos on the offensive side, and that sends Coach Leon Rice onto the court to argue his case. The crowd loves it. Rice does not. His guys have been clamped down on for just 16 first-half points to this point. It draws a technical from the refs who've had enough. Miles Bird, after the 2 made technicals by Dixon-Waters with a catch-and-shoot 3, doubles up Boise State 33-16. Aztecs, behind a 28-3 first-half run, head into the break up 50-29. Second half, you figure it'd be more of the same, right? Visiting team has to play offense in front of the show, and visitors know they have to get stops on defense to close that gap, and they end up doing it. Into the first media timeout, Broncos have outscored the Aztecs 8-4. They will add to that, go on an 8-0 run, and close to within 14. Dixon-Waters halts it with a jumper from the free throw line, pushing the lead back to 16. But in general, Broncos showing more determination, while the Aztec efforts not as effective to this point. And, of course, in trying to play tough D, they start racking up the fouls on defense. 12:37 left in the game. Aztecs commit their 7th team foul. Boise State will be in the bonus the rest of the way. It was a 21-point lead at the half, but now 11:35 to play. Broncos showing life, closing the lead to 9 on a three-pointer by Javen Buchanan. Has he missed yet? Not yet. And this game now feels markedly different all of a sudden with so much time left to go. Dixon-Waters trades threes with Boise State. Elsie Harrington, a step-back two-pointer. And then Buchanan moments later with another three. It's an 8-point game. 67-59 under 9 minutes to play. And then Buchanan responds after a Heidi miss with a three to close it to a 5-point game. 8:31 to play. What happened to that Aztecs defense? What happened to the Aztecs offense? Instead, it's game on. And heading into this timeout, the Aztecs look like they are dragging a little. They will commit a foul on a drive by Alginado Nato. Buchanan again with the three, this one coming at the 8:36 mark. It's a 5-point lead. Both sides playing their hearts out, but the viewer is left wondering as the 6:05 mark looms into view, how the heck a 24-point ball game gets down to 5. Oh yeah, it's college basketball. Remember, say it with me, everybody. It's a game of runs. And we ain't seen nothing yet tonight. Drew Fielder makes a three-pointer. Elsie Harrington, a dunk the other way for the Aztecs on a nice pass by B.J. Davis. Then Buchanan keeps putting the ball in the hoop for the Broncos. Andrew Meadow with a score in the paint. Ties the game up at 73 all. 4:02 left in this one. Aztecs starting to look tight. Boise State, remember, the second best road team in the Mountain West next to the Aztecs. They have 4 wins in this building, and that is the most of any team in the conference. Aztecs look like they're leaking oil. They turn it over and a chance for the Broncos to take the lead coming out of the break. Who can make plays for the Aztecs down the stretch? They are all trying. Dixon-Waters knocks down a three. Buchanan answers right back with a driving layup. Pretty much a rock fight down the stretch. And despite that, the Aztecs with a chance to win in regulation when Davis makes a second chance three-pointer to put the Aztecs up 3, 79-76. Boise State, though, closes to 1 after Fielder goes 1 of 2 at the line. The lead is 2 at the 1:10 mark. Boise State's Fielder goes 1 of 2 at the line. The lead is 2 at the minute 10 mark. And then there's a stretch in the game now where the clock ticks. There's missed shots, turnovers featuring a steal by Miles Bird, no scoring by the Aztecs with the ball. And then Davis is fouled. He goes to the line, 18 seconds left. He is a 97% free throw shooter for the front end of a one-on-one, and he'll miss. Buchanan with the rebound. The ball ends up in Fielder's hands in the paint. He will score to tie it with 9 ticks left. On the inbound, Davis has it, but misses a chance going coast to coast, and the shot is no good. Too much time left. Bronx come down with it. Boise State has a chance to win on a shot with 2 seconds left. It's a miss by Dylan Andrews. Still, the Broncos outscore the Aztecs 50-29, and it's 79 all. 5 bonus minutes to play. First OT, here we go. Compton wins the tip. Aztecs get it first out. But an offensive foul by Compton, 2 quick scores by Boise State, puts them up by 4. And Viejas all of a sudden sounds like it's gone stone cold quiet. Aztecs will get a dunk by Jeremiah Oden, but they need to stop. They cannot produce. Instead, score Buchanan 10 of 10 from the field at this point on a made baseline jumper to push the lead back to 4. Lead stays with Boise State, eventually extended to 6 points with 18 seconds left. It's looking like a monumental Aztecs collapse at this point. The prior possessions include even a Miles Bird free throw miss and a frustration foul to follow it up, shots of him limping around badly. Miles Heidi gets 2 free throws, but misses them both. Boise State makes their free throws, and the fans appear to be filing out of the building during a late Dutcher timeout. But we are Aztecs all in, and we're staying with this no matter what. And rubbing our eyes as Elsie Harrington sinks a 3 with 10.8 seconds left. They still have a pulse, but they're still down by 3, 93-90. And then, oh my God, what just happened? On the inbound, the Broncos will attempt a deep pass down the court, and Davis will come up with it with a cornerback-like interception on the Boise State side of the court. Time's running out as he's bouncing around with the ball along the three-point line. He's looking for a shot and trying to make it, and it will take us to a second OT. If it does, he ends up taking a long jumper, and it's good. The fans Left behind at Viejas still with this one. They're screaming. They're going nuts. It's 93 apiece. Double overtime at this point. Davis, 22 points in the game at this point to lead the Aztecs. The question at this point, though, is who has enough in the tank to finish this one off? No one, apparently. The second OT, both teams managed just 5 points each. Bird gets one. He goes coast to coast, draws a foul, going for a layup. He looks gimpy. He's at the line. Misses the first one, makes the second, hobbling on the sideline. Aztecs, 94-93. There's a baseline jumper made by Harrington. He follows that up with a steal on the inbound, scores again, 98-93. Here's the Aztecs defense showing up to stop one shot, but they can't get the rebound. There's a foul, and Dominic Perlin is sent to the line. He makes both of them. It's 98-95, 2:11 left. Aztecs get Bird with a catch-and-shoot three. It does not go. Boise a chance to tie, and Drew Fielder knocks down a three. It's 98 all, a minute 26 left. No one scores the rest of the way. We go to the third OT. Toward the end of that set, Davis was dribbling. He had 10 seconds left on the clock, but then loses the handle, and Boise State took a desperation three. Here we are now, the third overtime. So Davis was the hero of that first OT, but not so good in that last possession. Looks like Davis was fouled in the closing seconds, but no call. Boise State will control the tip. Meadow is wide open for a three. It's 101-98, and then a miss on the Aztecs end. Boise State adds two. The Aztecs trail by 5, 3:42 in the overtime. Oden responds with the three. The lead is closed to 2. Aztecs will get a stop on a contested rebound. Aztecs down 2, 3:11 left. Harrington takes a 15-footer that ties it at 103 each, 2:47 left. Who has enough to finish this game? Aztecs get a stop. An apparent rebound by Heidi is slapped away and is going for the loose ball. He's whistled for a foul. And now they're taking time to review it as a potential flagrant. That elbow looks a tad high, and there was a hard shove involved in the battle for the ball, but the call is no flagrant. The fouled player is E.J. Keene. He is going to the line to take his first 2 free throws of the season. Makes them both. So it's a 2-point Boise State lead. Heidi ends up with the ball in the key. He's making all kinds of moves inside to try to get into a position to take a shot at the bucket. Ends up with a little hook shot jumper that's good. He has a chance to add to that with a foul and a free throw, but cannot. It is 105 all, 2:05 left. Aztecs will get a stop on their end. Boise State turnover with the shot clock running down inside a minute 30. Davis finds Heidi inside, and he will make a layup. Meantime, there's Bird, the camera taking shots of him off the court. Looks like he's got some cramps going, and he is out again. Aztecs league will not last. Buchanan is fouled on a drive. 10 seconds later, he's at the line at the 106 mark and makes them both. It's 107 all. Inside a minute, with the Aztecs working the clock down, Reese Dixon-Waters with the ball is fouled. Now, Reese Dixon-Waters is darn near automatic, and he makes the first, but misses the second. It's a 1-point game. 36 seconds left. Boise calls timeout. 32.1 ticks on the clock. And the camera cuts to a frustrated Miles Bird. He's getting worked over off the court to the side. Boise State inbounds. Fielder with the inside the key shot. He is surrounded by Aztecs. The clock ticking down, and he ends up throwing it away. Aztecs come up with it. 12.3 seconds left. Boise State has to foul and send Harrington to the line. Elvsey makes the first. It's a 2-point lead, 109-107. And his second free throw is good. It's a 3-point game, 110-107. Dutch calls a timeout, and it would seem that they're going to target someone who can't make a free throw, but you would also imagine that Boise State probably has their best free throw shooters on the floor. Boise State gets down quick with the inbound. Aztecs do not foul. Boise State's Andrew Meadow will get off a rushed, contested final three-pointer with 2 seconds left. It will not go. Aztecs rebound. Aztecs win. Here's Coach Dutcher talking to San Diego State Sports AM 760 about how it all played out.
But I told the guys at halftime, if we're in our locker room and we're down 21, I don't feel we're out of the game. And they don't either. So they're going to try to play their way back into it. And they did. They made plays. They made threes. And we got stagnant offensively. All the movement we had in the first half, we tried to attack too quickly. And we didn't have the movement of the ball or players like we did in the first half. But we fought through. We didn't give in. BJ's play was as good as you're ever going to see. I mean, to steal it, intercept that pass in the three-quarter court, drive down, size him up for a three, and knock it down, that's an incredible, incredible play. And then we made enough timely plays. LZ made some real big baskets in that overtime to kind of get us over the top, and we used everybody. Farrell Compton was sick today, didn't go through walkthrough, had an IV before the game, came in and gave us some really good minutes. Even though he's under the weather, Tay had a hyperextension of the knee, tried to warm up but couldn't go. So we have enough players, and that depth is important, and it played a factor tonight's game. Bird seemed like he was getting hurt every other play, cramping up, gutted it out. We needed the defense that he was playing, and we shot 53% for the game, and that's a really high percentage. And we found a way to make enough plays to win a really tough Mountain West game tonight. Second half, we didn't get in the paint as easily. We tried to go too fast. The defense was set. And when their defense is set, they tilt the floor. They do a good job. I just thought we got impatient with our offense to start of the second half. I could feel it. And sometimes you tell them in timeouts, and they come out and they do it again. And so we're not making the adjustments that I'm trying to make in the timeouts, or they're not understanding what I'm wanting them to do. So I have to do a better job explaining exactly what I want when I come out of those timeouts. They made a lot of threes, and they were physical at the rim, and it was a physical, tough-fought Mountain West game. They had 13 offensive rebounds. We had 8, so we wanted to fight on the glass, but they got a lot of them, and but we did a good job walling up the end and not fouling under the basket, and hard game to officiate too. A lot of physicality. I don't feel I feel bad for those guys. Everybody's on them all the time. It's a hard game to officiate.
All right, call it whatever you want. Instant classic, near disaster, whatever. It's a win for the Aztecs. They remain undefeated in the Mountain West at this point. It says here if the Aztecs can make more than 66% of their free throws, the game probably ends in regulation. Never have been crazy about how this program regards free throws, but there you go. Leading scorer for the Aztecs, B.J. Davis off the bench again, 22. Harrington scores 20. Bird and Reese Dixon-Waters and Compton all in double figures. Aztecs out-rebounded by Boise State, 45-38. You heard Dutch reference how the Aztecs were bested on the offensive glass. Davis, leading rebounder for the Aztecs with 11. He's their guard. The Aztecs need better production from their bigs in that space. Heidi, the leading big rebounder with 6. Heidi, the big with enough left in the tank to help finish out the scoring from the field without late layup. He had 8 points. Reese Dixon-Waters, a true team player, always looking to find an open Aztec. He and Davis both with 6 assists on the night. Buchanan led the scoring for the Bronx with 29. Fielder had 9 rebounds to go with the 16 points. But the team was held scoreless after he had that dunk early in the final OT. And they will look at this one as the one that got away. Aztecs will breathe a sigh of relief, review this game tape, and prep for the next one against Nevada in Reno on Tuesday. So out of breath and bewildered after this one. I forgot the name of this podcast, and I think I forgot my name as well. What's my name again? And also the name of the co-host. Oh, yeah, isn't it Larry something? Larry? Take it away, whoever you are. Wait. Look, you got to know I'm just kidding, right? He shuffles his cue cards. He looks hard at them. He squints. He goes, Lewis, that's it. Good old Lewis. Take it away.
Thanks, Steve. Whew. And like the players exhausted after the triple overtime affair, I am exhausted after listening to that game recap. And yep, thank you. It is Lewis, not Larry. What are you thinking of? Leisure Suit Larry, that old video game? Nope, you got it right. One last note about the game. Magoon did not get the start, played only 15 minutes, and not at all in any of the 3 overtimes. While he scored 9 points on 3 of 3 shooting, Coach Brian Dutcher said after the game that Guath didn't start due to disciplinary reasons and, quote, he's got some responsibilities that he's got to live up to. In addition, Dutcher said he was beat up a little, limping a lot, and didn't think it was in his best interest to put him back in the game. Now, a quick look back at the Aztecs' other conference game this week. Steve, the final score showed the Aztecs defeating San Jose State 81-68. A 13-point conference win on the road is never a bad thing, but like most of this season, nothing came easy for the Aztecs. The Spartans actually took a 2-point lead at 53-51 with 13 minutes left when Aztecs super sub B.J. Davis put on a show. His layup at the 10:57 mark gave the Aztecs the lead for good. He scored 15 of his team-leading 18 points in the final 10:57 of play. They went on a 20-9 run the rest of the way, and it helped that the Spartans went ice cold, actually going without a field goal for the final 8:52 of the game. The discrepancy in bench points really tells the story of this one. The Spartans hung in there until their tired legs just couldn't keep up with the Aztecs' deep bench. The Aztecs ended up with 42 bench points to just 2 for San Jose State. Early on, it looked like this game would become a blowout. An early 14-2 run gave the Aztecs a 12-point first-half lead, taking advantage of some Spartan turnovers. They had 13 in the first half, but the Aztecs taketh and giveth away with 10 turnovers of their own. Despite shooting 58% in the first half, the Aztecs led by just 4, 42-38. Steve, another reasons the Spartans were able to keep this game close was free throws. They shot 24, making 22, that's 91%. The Aztecs were just 19 of 26, or 73%. But Steve, if the Aztecs are going to compete for a Mountain West Conference title, they'll have to be better on the boards. San Jose State out-rebounded the Aztecs 35-29 and got 7 more defensive rebounds than the Aztecs, which leads to second chance points. Both Coach Brian Dutcher and Reese Dixon-Waters say that has to improve, and fast.
We have to continue to rebound, and that will be important leading in the Boise game. After what they did to us in the conference tournament last year on the offensive glass, we have to continue to work on rebounding, which we do every day, but we have to see better translation into the game. So rebound's a real emphasis for us. Yeah, I mean, both teams are hard to score on, so any initial possession, it's tough to score a basket, so you have to create your own sometimes, and ways to do that is the offensive glass. It's interesting, we have the exact same offensive rebounding numbers, but their defensive numbers are much higher than ours. I think they have 50 more defensive rebounds than we have. Offensively rebounding, we're almost even. So we have to do a better job of continuing to go to the offensive glass and do a better job on the defensive glass.
I think rebounding was one. Just not allowing them to get in the paint. They drew a lot of fouls, so taking away that and taking away the rebounding, I think would have done a lot better, but we won, so I'm pretty happy.
Steve, with the Aztecs moving to the Pac-12 next season, this was the last scheduled game between the Spartans and Aztecs, a series that's been dominated by the Aztecs, who finished their Mountain West regular season series with a record of 21-1. Steve, Aztecs football fans hoping to see their favorite players stick around next season will mostly be disappointed. The transfer portal is officially open, and there are about 24 Aztec players looking to take advantage of NIL cash and switch to a different school. While all 11 defensive starters returned to help lead the Aztecs to a 9-4 record this season, the Aztecs welcomed in more than a dozen new players from the portal. Expect the same or even more next season. So far, there are no new additions yet, but here are some of the Aztecs who are seeking greener, as in cash, pastures. Linebacker Owen Chambliss, who led the team with 110 tackles this season. Quarterback Kyle Crum, who's been with the Aztecs since 2022 and hadn't thrown a pass in more than 3 years since guiding the Aztecs to 4 touchdowns in the New Mexico Bowl. Punter Hunter Green, the nation's 6th-ranked punter this season. Backup punter Tasha Dorje added his name to the portal, but he may pull out since Green is not staying. Edge Ryan Henderson, who shared the lead in sacks with 7. Safety Dwayne McDougal, who started all 13 games and had 55 tackles and shared the team lead in picks with 4. August Salvati, a spring transfer from Florida Atlantic, who had 3.5 sacks over 11 games. Safety Dalshawn Staley, who started all 13 games this season. He was the second leading tackler with 80, had a pick and 10 pass breakups. Former walk-on receiver Mikey Welsh, who had 12 catches for 129 yards. And the biggest name, edge Trey White, who over the past 2 seasons had a team-leading 19.5 sacks, 29 tackles for loss, and 27 quarterback hurries. He's ranked as the 58th best player in the portal, according to On3.com. But here are some of the key players who will be sticking around. Tight end Jackson Ford, he should have an expanded role after catching 10 passes. Wide receiver Jordan Napier, 48 catches for 629 and 2 touchdowns before suffering a season-ending knee injury against Boise State. He could be fully recovered by fall camp. Edge Brady Nasser, he'll be a senior. He played all 13 games, 3 starts, finished with 20 tackles, 8 quarterback hurries, and 3 pass breakups. Currently, offensive lineman Joe Bourgeon is staying, but will he follow O-line coach Mike Schmidt to Kansas State or perhaps go elsewhere? As for the quarterbacks, Jaden Denegal will be back. He's returning along with walk-on Drayden Trudeau and class of 26 signee Brady Campbell. Burt Emanuel Jr. is expected to switch to wide receiver. Running back extraordinaire Lucky Sutton, he'll be back, 254 carries, 1,297 yards, 10 touchdowns, a 5.1 average. And one reason, perhaps, is the history that SDSU running backs have in the NFL. You got Marshall Faulk, Rashad Penny. So maybe Lucky Sutton figures his best way to make the NFL is to stay right here at San Diego State. And tackle Malachi Flynn and linebacker Tano Latuli both confirmed their return on social media. Steve?
Lewis, real quick for me about all that movement going on related to the TP and the coaches coming and going. Life does go on, albeit at a different pace and with different perspectives. The coaching carousel, it's been ever thus, and so they've had the ability to seek greener pastures in a free market for a long time, so that is what it is. As for the movement of the players via the TP, you got to wish them all well. You got to wish they would all truly be Aztecs for life and live up to that, but their opportunities and playing windows are much more limited. Above the pay grade as far as solving some of the issues raised, and no one writing up those big TV rights contracts helping finance all this or giving me much thought, so personally it makes sense to me to reciprocate and not give it that much of my personal energy. Big picture, though, all these powers that be need to pay heed. Sooner or later, greater numbers of fans might repay all the cash grabbing with decisions to take their own dollar votes and their attention and loyalties elsewhere. I guess it's time to say thanks for joining us on this episode of Aztecs All In, where you can follow us on the X, even find links there to our recent episodes, along with any hot, cold, and tepid takes from the various denizens in our orbit at Aztecs_all_in. You can drop us a note if you're so inclined via email, aztecsallin@gmail.com. For Lewis Weiner, I'm Steve Perez, bidding you a pleasant see ya.